welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships here in Hanover at the CeBIT. And there's my voice, very good. I like to hear my voice on the big speakers. It's a very nice feeling. It's been a bit of a group of upsets here. Do you know who just defeated Fnatic?
Yeah, Alternate.
Alternate did.
Yeah.
That was an interesting game. I just watched the last couple of minutes of it. I didn't expect to see anything like that. So the group is completely blown wide open right now. It used to be a sort of like, is it going to be CLG or Dignitas thing? But that's not really the question anymore. It could be a lot. Fnatic can definitely still drop out of this group, but I think CLG still have the chance. They try really hard to drop out of this group as well. They're 2-1 right now, and they have 2 more games to go.
And I tell you what, there was no one more happier than CLG, because they were watching that and they were like, yeah, okay, we don't like people losing, but we've got a chance now. We've got a good, clear chance. So they're going to be very happy with this one. Obviously, that takes the pressure off them a little bit. They're coming up against Authority, who are, you know, undefeated in the group at the moment and have looked incredibly strong. They've got so many heroes that they can pick from. And it's been causing problems for anyone that's come against them. You know, Dignitas said, you know, actually they played pretty standard, but it's just they play really well.
Yes, absolutely, still AAA look completely undefeatable to me so far. I'm not. They are they 3-0 or 4-0? I'm not even sure. I think they're 3-0.
3-0.
They would be 3-0. Yeah.
This would be 4-0 if they go and beat CLG. Obviously, so they're feeling very confident right now. You know, against Authority, they've come into this one. They had amazing form online recently, and they seem to have brought it to the event at last.
Absolutely.
At last. Meanwhile, CLG, obviously, you know, losing to Dignitas wasn't the greatest thing, but they seem to have turned it on since then. You know, actually, although that said, they had a very close game with Millennium as well. That 16-14 game, they only just won it. And actually, Kuja said, you know what? We actually should have won that. We kind of threw it.
Well, I think the only way to settle the question of exactly where CLG are going from here is through the medium of bloody warfare in our computers. And the players are ready to make their entrance on the stage, Lee, so let's go over to the stage.
Are you guys ready for the next match? We've got a nice crowd here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Hanover, Germany. And I'd like to go ahead and welcome our next teams for our next match, CLG versus AAA. So let's give a big warm welcome for CLG versus AAA.
All right, guys, and we're here with both AAA against Authority and CLG. Got Hotshot GG and Yellow Star here. How are you guys feeling about the tournament so far? Let's just keep it basic for a second.
So far, this event has been the best, and it's so many people, and the crowd's awesome, so it's been going good.
Right on. How are you guys feeling so far in this tournament? You guys were seen to be coming in as one of the weaker ones, but you guys have shown now that you can absolutely stand with everyone. How are you guys feeling? You guys have shown that you can stand with everybody, as some people thought that, you know, Against All Authority was going to come in here a little bit weaker than the rest. How do you guys feel now that you're playing a little more up to your performance?
I don't really get it because
Okay. So you guys, you're playing strong, right? How does that feel coming into this match? You had a few off matches, but you've been doing better. How does that feel?
We don't really know the American teams because we don't have the chance to play against them, but, well, we will see.
Do you have any tricks up your sleeve? Any special tricks?
No, not really. We'll just play our best and we'll see.
Right on. Your AD has been pretty aggressive throughout the tournament. Is that normal for you, or are you just feeling very, very aggressive?
No, that's just a normal gameplays from me. No.
Right on. All right, so you guys have been playing strong. Your first game was real nice. You guys came out. Well, how are you guys feeling now? You know, Saint was playing some Mundo jungle. You guys been switching it up at all? What about the lanes?
I think we'll just play standard from what we normally have, so we'll just try to outplay them and do our best, and hopefully that'll lead us to victory.
All right, gentlemen, to your PCs. Good luck in the match. We're going to throw back to the caster's booth with, I believe, Freak and Xenon.
Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and wow, what a game this is going to be. Could CLG upset aAa? Could they go for perfect record, though, aAa? I mean, they've looked very, very good. Yellow Star, well, it's this aggressive style that Rivington was referring to there. He wasn't so aggressive in the interview, though, unfortunately.
No, it was more of a polite style there.
Polite style.
But he'll trick you like that. And somebody wants shirts. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game that's coming up right now could be between two of the top teams going out of this group right now. I don't think we have the very latest results on the website
as it is at the moment. Dignitas are 3-1-0, I believe. CLG are 3-1-0. Fnatic are 2-2. Millennium are 0-4-0. Alternate will be 1-3-0.
Why
obviously against all authorities.
Why the three numbers? Are they ties? I mean, 1-3-0. What's the 0 stand for?
Well, yeah, I know. I know what you're saying. It's like technically there really is never a draw.
I was honestly confused.
I don't know why they have them, but they're there. It's not for me to say.
I guess there could be ties. Who knows? But yeah.
How?
I don't know. Both Nexuses exploded at the same second.
Exactly.
Possibly. We are looking at CLG right now. GG looking very, very mean. I should probably say determined. Determined is the better word. That's Yellow Star again. CLG did lose to Dignitas, but that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that they are not necessarily the better team from North America. I don't know how much we should count that very first game of the day. It was the
first game of the day.
Yes, and it was a weird lineup as well. So CLG, the team with the longest history, I feel, in League of Legends, they did win the gold medal at the WCG 2010. Which I just recently rewatched your cast of.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, yeah. That is a trip down memory lane.
Would have been a trip down memory lane. But speaking of trips down memory lane, N-Rated wanted my T-shirt.
He wanted your shirt?
He wants this T-shirt. It is the support-only T-shirt.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So he's like, you've got to get me one of those. I said, well, actually, I think they're throwing them out at the moment in the raffle. If you go down there and catch one, he's like, nah.
I'm getting myself one of those. I'm getting myself one of those. I play support. Not well, but I play support.
So I mean, okay. So let's look at it down. So CLG, the only game they lost was the very first one.
Yep.
aAa have looked incredibly strong. I'm saying aAa again.
Yeah.
It should be against LoL Authority, but they've looked unbeatable at times.
Yeah.
But the question is, CLG coming into this one pretty determined. They have to win it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the pressure's off a little with Fnatic losing to Alternate, but they still really have to win this because they want to get that top spot. Everybody wants the top spot. You get the bye in the first round into the quarterfinals, I believe, or the semi-finals.
The semi-finals, you get straight to the semi-finals, so you don't even have to show up for the next 2 days.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah, which is one way of looking at it, I guess. But yeah, wow, look at that packed house in the spectators as well. Yeah. Everybody piling in for this game. CLG is ready.
Nice.
aAa will just sort themselves out. They're looking like they're pretty ready. We are ready. So let's, without further ado, hopefully go in towards the picks and bans. So. This is the shirt I was talking about. You can finally see it now. It is the new support-only shirt. So anyway, yes, we are into the picks and bans, and as you can see on my screen, they have immediately gone straight in there and banned Kennen out. Well, Kennen is one of those crazy characters that we talked about with Fnatic earlier on, obviously. Shusha's been playing very well with him, as he demonstrated against Dignitas in what was an incredible game. Twisted Fate being banned out there. Okay, that's aimed towards Big Fat GG. They used to play it. I don't know how much he's played it lately, but then again, they've been screaming offline a lot, so it's hard to say.
Yes, it's true. And Ash banned against AAA. Not sure Yellow Star plays a lot of Ash, but they don't just want to have to deal with the arrow. Rice banned, and Karthus, again, that's just a ban against MoMA. Such a good Karthus player. I like the Kennen ban. If Hotshot manages to just farm on top lane, he's just going to be his usual farm shot self. A Ziggs ban? That's kind of strange, but okay, cool, whatever. And Kennen is one of those characters that can shut down top lane.
Wow.
And there's the Shen pick.
Is that a schoolboy error?
Ziggs is not a character worth banning. I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
He's a strong character, a strong champion, but no one's really figured out how to play him in such a way that he will dominate a game. Whereas Shen...
It's far too early.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But Shen, yeah, absolutely. We saw it already today.
Yeah.
The Shen game against Fnatic, it was just...
Shen was level 14 when Shushi's Wukong was level 9.
Yeah.
He just pretty much won the game.
It was ugly to watch. It was very one-sided. And I think he was at 5k hit points when everybody else was just like, oh, we can't touch him.
It was brilliant to watch from Moma and Source's point of view. The combination of ultimates, and we see Morgana and Shyvana picked up here from AAA. The combination of ultimates is just so great there. Morgana, strangely enough, they decided to ban Ashe over Morgana. Let's see if that decision will come back to haunt them. Moma, definitely a super strong Morgana player. We saw him today already. And Linak, again, with one of those aggressive counter junglers. Shyvana, going to spend a lot of time in the enemy forest, but Saint, I feel, is the kind of player who's prepared for this kind of thing. He will probably know how to shut him down, and if his team cooperates, if they're not like, I'm going to stay in my lane and farm, then they should be able to keep Linak out of their forest.
Yeah, so the big question is, what are they going to spec up here? CLG obviously having some pretty long discussions about this one. They're not going so quick fire on the bans as their picks and bans as they were this morning, and having the discussion, obviously they're going to go for that support carry, so they're going to go with Janna. Would be a wise decision, obviously get a lot of blowback. The Monsoon can help in so many situations, as Dignitas proved this morning against CLG. You know, we thought, wow, they've got such a CC team, but you know that Janna ulti was just wrecking the whole thing.
Against Formilies as well, that was not ideal. Ude now picked up. I think Ude is probably one of the very few junglers that can stand up to Shyvana, pulling him in his jungle. So let's see what St. Vicious can do with that, but Ude. But I expect great things from him. I would never expect less from...
Great expectations, I believe, is the word you're after. So against All Authority, going to pick up their next two. They've already gone with the AP and jungler, so possible support carry coming down. No, so this could be potentially a top lane Shyvana.
Oh yeah, with the jungle Alistar that we saw before.
It's entirely possible, and they could just be leaving that one open. And it's the greatness that LoL has been created lately, that the players have actually sort of discovered, really made these positions their own. And the fact that it can actually leave you questioning it. It leaves us questioning it, certainly, the amount of times we've been caught out with some of these crazy things. So, Corki being locked instantly in there, and Alistar has been locked in. So, potential support Alistar down the bottom there, or a jungle Alistar, we're not sure yet.
Yeah, it's probably more likely to see the support Alistar. I've not seen a lot of... the jungle Alistar. I've not seen a lot of support Alistar from N-rated recently, so Linak has definitely been playing that jungle Alistar. And let's see the last two picks. What is GG going to be playing in mid lane? Because I do expect GG to actually go back to mid lane, his normal role. And the last pick, of course, the AD carry. Is it going to be an AD carry, or are they going to run a Blitzcrank again? What's your prediction?
And they're obviously not. I wouldn't expect that. But Ari coming out for the middle there. Well, we just seen Ari in the 2 games ago. Yeah. See, it's getting to that time already where the games start blurring into one.
Yeah. This is day one.
This is just day one. Vayne, wow, Janna Vayne.
Okay,
we've not seen much success from Janna Vayne for a while.
We've seen a lot of unsuccessful Janna Vaynes at Kiev. Like one bot lane after another failed with Janna Vayne.
And ironically, Doublelift was one of the people who spoke out about that. So, you know, he is going to be proving people wrong here, or at least he hopes he will be. The final pick coming out from Against All Authority, what will it be? They've got plenty available. I'm guessing it's going to be... See, this is where we find out. Would it be real the top lane with his...
Yeah. This is very interesting.
Is it going to be a support? It is going to be Yorick along the top, of course. Now, that's someone that I've completely forgotten about.
Yorick.
And he's so strong.
Pro gamers always tell me Yorick beats everything top lane, but we don't play him because he's too boring to play. For pros, I guess, it's very straightforward.
Shen,
but yeah, he is probably going to be one of the very, very few champions who can shut down Shen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Shushe plays a pretty strong Yorick as well, so I'm not quite sure why they went with the Wukong there. But that's a different game. But still, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking, what beats Shen? How do you...
you just can't help mentioning Fnatic,
I had to go back to that. Yeah, I had to. Soaz is, I feel, going to make life very difficult for Hotshot. He is a very, very strong top laner, and with Yorick, you just have very strong lane dominance. Linak is in the jungle, so it's actually N-rated on the support cow. So yeah, that makes sense, of course. And Yellowstar on Corki, so Corki plus Alistar, I feel that can be a very aggressive lane. If they actually get the Headbutt Pulverize combo in, Corki can put down so much burst. Gonna have to see how it plays out. What? A last second swap? Shen is going into the jungle. I don't want to have to deal with Yorick.
That was the last second. Very good spot there. That was literally last second. St. Vicious switching to Shen there, which means Hotshot will be along the top there, and that was kind of baiting, I think, the opposition in as well there.
Yeah, that is an interesting level of meta game I never really considered. You can wait until the last second with a swap so they can react. I don't know quite how they could have reacted. They didn't really have a lot of... I mean, they could have put Shyvana top, but Yorick doesn't really jungle support.
Well, maybe they've had discussions. I thought Yorick actually, that was going to cancel me quite bad, but if I use the Deer, I can turtle shield up, it won't be so bad. I can, cancel the effects pretty well. So, wow, okay. So, quick last second change. Trying to catch us out as well, but good spot there, Daniel. Mentioned to pick that one up. So, we're going to go into the game and well, I mean, who's your odds on? Against All Authority is unbeaten so far. CLG, well, they are CLG.
Yes. It's really, really hard to say in this one. But
I'm
liking CLG actually.
Oh, okay.
I am liking CLG. The Shen, if it's coordinated well, is so good. CLG are a team that have a lot of experience at drawing into the late game vein. So very, very scary. But you know what, Lee? It's too close to call really. This game. There's only one way that we can really find out who's going to win this, and that is, of course, to see this game played out here on the stage. So please give it up for aAa versus CLG.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just tuned in, it is Against All Authority versus CLG, Group A here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships, and this is one of the very big crunch games of the group stage. This will really decide whether aAa can top the group. They're going to charge straight in immediately, and St. Vicious spots it, has to use Ghost already there, so St. Vicious getting away from that one, so immediately Summoner spell burned out there for Shen, so it's going to have to wait for that timer to come back. And Against All Authorities, well, they do have a very, very strong level 1 team there, so there's absolutely every reason why he got out of that. He was so cautious of the dark bindings coming out from Morgana there. So let's give you a quick roster rundown of the teams. You can see for CLG, it is Hotshot on Udyr, last minute switch there, going to be top lane. Chowster on Janna, you can see double lift on Vayne, so that Janna double lift, Janna double lift lane? Janna Vayne lane down the bottom is going to cause, well, we're not sure how that one's going to work out here. It hasn't worked well in the past, that's all we're going to say. St. Vicious in the jungle on Shen, Big Fat LP in the middle on Ari. For Against All Authority, there's Soaz on Yorick. That's going to be up the top lane against Udyr. Linak will be in the jungle on that Shyvana, so fast at jungling around. N-rated will be with Yellowstar. Down the bottom, it's going to be Alistair and Corki. And just keeping my eye on Against All Authority coming in here and having a cheeky steal on the Wraiths. Meanwhile, it is going to be Momo in the middle on AFK farming Morgana.
AFK pushing basically. Just find the E key and you're gonna be all right. Corki, again, I think Yellowstar's done this before, taken 3 of the 4 Wraiths with Corki. The Q apparently is key to that because it does so much damage to the big Wraith that you can take it down very, very quickly after the pulverize. And he's doing a good job there, and that is going to put Shen behind a little bit. I'm not sure how much training St. Vicious has had on jungling Shen, but I've definitely seen him play it sometimes on stream, so this is probably not his first game as jungle Shen.
And N-Rate is going to come out, missing the pulverize there on double lift early on, which means he's going to back away. It's so important that he can hold onto that bush. He's taking a bit of damage as well on the back way through. So let's keep our eye on the lanes, how they're going to shape up early on. We have Yorick and Udyr having a little bit of poke back and forth at the top there, but I'd be amazed if anything comes against it between those two. They're both very, very tanky heroes. Yeah. You can see Phoenix Stun's being used by Hotshot there. We'll try and keep an eye on the skill levels at which they're using. Gotta be very cautious on this bottom lane because you can see double lift. He can get caught out head, but pulverized combo missed there from N-Rated. Does manage to catch it the second time of asking, and has to back away from that one. Yellowstar not following it up though, so more just harassing double lift, keeping him away from the CS.
Hotshot doesn't look too good in top lane right now. He is already going through health potions very, very quickly. Every time he shows himself, Soaz just turns around and harasses him. Actually, you know, he's being a little bit cautious. But look, top lane, bot lane, everything's fine still. Yeah, but a Hotshot taking damage from those E-Ghouls, the Omen of Pestilence Ghouls, which heal up Soaz when he casts them and when they attack. So Soaz is going to sustain really well in this lane. That's why Yorick works so well in top lane, because he has all that sustain and he can just bully somebody out of lane and practically not get punished, especially once he has his tears.
Yeah, and at the moment you can see Morgana actually pushing on Ari. So forcing Ari back, like you say, it's one of those things you just can't help it as Morgana.
Yeah.
You'll just push, especially if you're using that soul. And Big Fat LP trying his best to harass Momo. Momo not bothering using any black shield, so I'm guessing probably hasn't leveled it up just yet. No. Oh, he has to just put one skill in it. Just keeping my eye down the bottom as well. This is one of the ones that is going to be very hard for me to miss. The First Blood, and wow, it is already been back to buy a regrowth pendant there and a health pot to go with that ward.
Yeah, that's just to stop Soas from completely pushing him out of lane. I'm not sure how successful it's going to be. Soas has actually decided not to push. He's just freezing the lane where it is. He's not really freezing it, but he's at least pushing it forward very, very slowly. So he didn't want to push the lane into tower. He probably wants to be safe as Yorick. He doesn't have that many escapes. And now we see Shyvana coming around for a potential gank here mid lane, but she has been, I don't know if she's been pinged by the enemy team or not.
Yeah,
I do see a ping sign over her.
Yeah, she was pinged out already, and Dignitas. So Dignitas, Big Fat LP, where Dignitas came from, I don't know. Got Dignitas on the brain. As we also catch a glimpse of the cow manoeuvring, I guess going to place a ward. Will be looking towards the Wraiths. Yes, he will ward up the Wraiths. He's going to try maybe come around the backside of Big Fat LP. Ping already goes down because St. Vicious is there, so he walks straight past, which means they're going to back away, and Shyvana is going to return. But this is the difference with Alistair. You can roam a little bit, and Corky's got that sustainability, you know, the escapability as well. He can just sit and harass and just keep the distance, Valkyrie away if so need be. Meanwhile, you can see there's, again, a triple gathering in the middle here.
They're constantly sitting on that Ari. I don't understand why, because Morgana should be fine, just, you know, farming with Tormented Soil. Yorick went home and bought tears the second he had the money for it, so he's back in lane with tears now, building up the tears every time you cast a spell for max mana. And that's going to go into Manamune late game, which converts max mana into damage.
Yeah,
so enough. And by the way, if you start theory crafting now around Manamune and Archangels, they are unique across each other, so you can't get the 1000 mana twice. I had to learn that the hard way with my Manamune Rise.
Yeah, so N-rated waiting to try and get anything from the bottom yet. Doublelift's going to say, well, yeah, we have a ward there, I'm just going to shoot you in the face. And you will back away. So N-rated's kind of realised he's not as sneaky as he thought he was. He still manages to headbutt Pulverize Doublelift there before the shield manages to actually get on him though. And it's really going to be such a passive game, I feel this one is. The early levels and the very first blood.
Oh, Shyvana coming in the mid lane though.
No, it's nothing going to come from that. Yeah, no chance. It's just, and the thing with Ari is so manoeuvrable, he can easily just get away from these things. Meanwhile, at the top, you can see there's a bit more harassment going on towards Hotshot. Hotshot's having a rough time of it at the top there. Yorick on 46 CS and Hotshot on 42 though, so we know that Hotshot can farm away like a good, especially on the tower. So I'm going to expect that. So it is going to be a slow start, I believe, between these two teams.
Some of that CS is ghouls as well, so it's not all minions, but still, I think he's still reasonably close to Yorick. And yeah, now he can just freely punish Hotshot under the tower. Oh, actually, good damage there from the Phoenix proc, but it's nothing to Yorick, who can just cast a couple of Omens of Pestilence and... Not Pestilence, it's Famine, Omens of Famine, and heal back up. Here we go. Bot lane also still very passive. N-rated is of course looking, like you said, to get that combo in. Doesn't seem to be happening quite yet. And Doublelift is absolutely happy to sit back and farm because Vayne is a late game hyper carry. So he just needs to get into late game with a decent CS score and he's going to be good for his team.
So Big Fat LP just picking up the blue buff there, so I expect Moment to be doing the exact same shortly, which means CLG are going to maybe look for maybe trying to get a steal. I don't think they've got anyone really in position. Shen is just returning back from buying.
So Shen used teleport to go back into lane. That is an interesting move. I'm not quite sure if that was really worth the, I don't know, 6 CS or so that he would have missed otherwise. And now his teleport is down for a while. And it was in plain view as well, so AAA should know that Hotshot's teleport is down and they could position for a dragon.
Yeah, I think they've wisely, I don't know, maybe he's just about used it at the right time. We're normally looking at 12-minute dragons, so it should be, no, actually it won't be up. It's a 300-second cooldown, isn't it? I just saw another headbutt. Pulverize, it's easy to spot in the minute where I see Doublelift flying across the map. The combo is not really landing as well as N-rated would like, but like you said, you've not seen him doing too much. But Chowster's doing the exact thing he should be doing here. He's just coming in, placing that ward in this bottom bush, and you can see Ari actually trying to sneak in there, but...
Ooh, yeah, Morgana is pushing the waves into mid turret, so Ari needs to make something happen here for this to be worth it.
Shen's covering off as well. And Hotshot actually making a move, going for a... Is he going for a ward in the tri-bush, or is he going to try and invade? He's not too sure where Shyvana is. Morgana now is going to go back and pick up that blue buff. And yeah, the pings go down, so they're well aware that Shen was around there, as well as Ari. So Ari now going back to bite, got himself a Hextech revolver, so building up towards that Will of the Ancients.
That was a good bit of wasted time there for Ari. He was now 57 to 82 CS. Mid lane going Moma's way, who just got himself a nice and tasty blue buff as well. And now seems to want to take Graves while Linak is right there. And Linak's like, you know what, take him. I don't need it.
That's a classic case of when I spoke to the pro players about stealing the jungle. It's like, can I take it? Can I take it? Can I take it? I'm taking it.
Go ahead, take it already.
Yeah, exactly. And then the top lane starts asking for that. The top lane jungle as well.
It's nice that they ask.
Hotshot continue actually to push a little bit on towards Soaz now. This is kind of expected because, you know, once he starts leveling up that Phoenix Dance a bit, what's he up to at the moment? He's up to 4, yeah, so 4 points in Phoenix Dance. Soaz is obviously going to get a little bit pushed.
Linak finds him in the forest. There's no way of slowing him down or stunning him, so he's going to just bear away.
Yeah, he can just bear away. It's going to be very hard to capture, and it's probably why we've not really seen Linak going for too many ganks. It's just trying to out-farm each other, and how is that working between the two? Shen's on 55 CS, and, well, Shyvana's on 56, so very even between the two. Shen have obviously proven to be a very quick farmer, so maybe St. Vicious is not so unprepared as we thought.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you must have played Shen in the jungle a couple of times. I mean, if a champion that you can play in your chosen role gets a massive buff, of course you're going to play him in your chosen role, even though that may not be the ideal way of playing him. So I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing there. Moma is just passively farming away mid lane. He has a massive advantage, 160-75. That's a 30 creep score advantage right now. Soaz is back at top lane. He has his mana mune now, so all that investment in spamming skills is now slowly starting to pay off. See a couple of pings going down in bot lane. I'm not entirely sure what they're about. Bot lane though, let's look at the farm. Vayne is at 90, Corki is at 107. So once again, going in favor of AAA. 13.8 to 13.1k gold, so a nice 700 gold advantage. No first blood though, Lee. 11 minutes into the game, both teams not exactly out for blood yet. They just want to farm up safely.
Yeah, and just look how fast it is. We can see Trinity Force actually well on the way of being completed by Yellowstar. Meanwhile, we've got a Bloodthirster almost completed as well by Vayne. Vayne being pushed a little bit there, catching a couple of ultis from Yellowstar there. He gets a 4 stack of rockets that he can build up and just pump them out as and when he needs to. And Alistair helping him out as he goes. If Alistair would have caught onto him there, I think he'd have been in trouble. And I think he's realised it suddenly. It's like, hang on a minute, I did take half my damage there with really nothing to reply with. Keeping my eye on Shyvana actually. Shyvana going for a little invade. It was going to come straight around towards St. Vicious's face. Will back away, no blue buff there, so he's just covering off, warding for that blue, so we expect them to be diving for that next one. Meanwhile, you can see bottom lane, they're starting to pressure the bot turret.
Yeah, they may actually want to take this early turret because Corki is pushing. I mean, Corki's going to push anyway, so they're gonna push into enemy territory. They're going to push the lane in, and then Corki is going to go somewhere else and get an objective. So they don't really care too much about the turret being down. Top lane has really reversed the dynamics somehow. Well, now that I'm talking about it, Source is pushing him back, but the last minute or so I was watching, and it looked like actually Hotshot was pushing Source out of lane, but now bot lane is rotating around mid. They're really looking for that kill on Big Fight LP right now. Oh, there's the flash, but no headbutt pulverize follow-up. Not entirely sure what happened to N-Raid. It must have slipped off the keyboard. The kill is strategically timed, Lee, because if you get a kill at this time, it's a safe dragon. And that's exactly what they wanted to do. Unfortunately, the German support player just slipping off his keyboard, not quite following up. The flash was perfectly in range as well. So.
Yeah, and he just maybe zipped away from it. Corki, in the meantime, is having a little bit of push down the bottom there. Had to zip away from Double Lift. Double Lift continuing to push down the bottom. So how is the gold stakes going? Well, you can see it's very, very even. Just 1k gold. Yellowstar has been pinned there. Howling Gale will catch him as well. Meanwhile, Alistair is going to come across. Will he headbutt anyone in towards the tower? No, he won't. He's just going to stroll on past and not do a great deal about it. Yellowstar have to chump through one of those health pots, so still a very, very passive game. We kind of expected it. There's a lot on the line here. These are not the very early games that you get to see, the fancy show matches where they go all out. This is literally for a place in the semi-finals.
Yeah, and the I'm looking at the teams right now. Vayne is an ultra late game carry. Oh, so I'm missing something bot lane. No, Vayne is an ultra late game carry, so CLG should be really, really happy to just farm that up. Corki doesn't fall off, but doesn't really become that insanely strong. On the other hand, they have Shyvana and Yorick, who at some point just become unkillable. You just can't do anything against them. So especially if Shyvana goes in, and if they want to force her down, if they want to burst her down, then they can still get her back with the Yorick ultimate. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm probably giving it to CLG though, because making the game go long, that's kind of CLG's game. That's what they want, Ali. That's the kind of playstyle that they used to. And so they should be very happy. I mean, they are 1k gold behind, and that's all down to better farming. Oh yeah, aAa also setting up for the Dragon right now, so the gold advantage is slowly getting away from them. But when you're playing the game, you don't have that display. You don't know how much gold you are behind.
And wow, a free Dragon as well for Against All Authority, not even remotely contested by CLG. Whether they realised that was happening, I guess they did. I think the support had gone back. The top lane is going a little bit walky, so Hotshot GG going to start taking away the golems there. So we're going to keep our eye on him. Soaz has realised it. Pings go down, but he's like, nah, I'm really not that bothered about it. And it just catches a glimpse of him, actually throws the ward in that tri-bush to prevent him doing it in future, because Shyvana was not too impressed with that. So Linak continues on. Meanwhile, Big Fat LP farming in the middle there against Momo. You can see Momo is up to 161 CS, 219, 120. So that's actually quite a big advantage, and it's continuing to grow that gap. So they're really going to have to deal with Momo soon enough.
I don't know that CLG are aware of how they're falling behind in the gold, in the farm and the global objectives. If they were aware of this, they might want to make something happen right now. But AAA may have actually found a weakness to CLG's play here. They said, well, CLG want to make this go into the long game, you know what? Let's just find a playstyle where we can turn that into our advantage, where we actually have things that work well in the late game as well, and where we outfarm them, which is, you know, no easy feat to outfarm these guys.
Yeah, I'm just watching the middle setup, whether they're going to catch it. A lot has been hinging on Momo actually landing those dark bindings, and he's just not had a chance. You can see Big Fat LP being very wise. That dark binding's flashing through, no chance. And the Tormented Soil actually pretty much clearing out that wave, no problem at all. So he's already got that needly large rod up there. Sorcerer's Boots as well. Linak this time maybe going to try and force something from it. Will he go around the back? No, he's just going to try and steal the wolves. It doesn't matter though. The pings go down. They realise that St. Vicious is there, so why is he going to back away? And this is the problem now. St. Vicious is getting pretty strong, so everywhere they actually go, he can just ulti straight in, and he's going to be a double protective layer. Oh, Udyr might get caught out at the top here, just keeping my eye on Hotshot, and Linak will just force him to back away. Very passive game.
Who has the blue buff from Team CLG currently is my question. I don't see it on anyone. I see that Shyvana has a blue buff, but it might be theirs as well. I haven't seen Ari with a blue buff actually. The jungle doesn't have it either.
Linak's got one.
Linux got one, yeah, that might be from their team though, so I'm not entirely sure the blue buff for, because I was thinking right now, if I was AAA and I wanted to force a fight, the blue buff would be a nice option. Not entirely sure, no, Legion doesn't have a blue buff either. I'm sorry, I'm not entirely sure what you were pointing at.
You're completely distracted, clearly. Meanwhile, you can see that well, Shyvana's coming across on Momo again. Momo's going to go back. I'm guessing we're going to see a Rabadon's. Oh no, it's a Tanzania's Hourglass straight away. Okay, Trinity Force also completed by Corki. Suddenly Against All Authorities have some pretty strong items here. So I'm going to expect them to start getting a lot more aggressive. Wow, at 17 minutes in, it's still 0-0. This is such a passive game. It's been built up, but Yorick at 2,600 gold sitting at the top there. So I expect to see him going back and buying in a moment because, well, frankly, oh, here we go. Here we go. Now we're going to see some action. The blue buff has just spawned up. You can see Linak pushing in and around there. He's going to get spotted out by CLG, but he's got the rest of Against All Authorities coming in now. Suddenly it's a four-man push straight on towards Hotshot. I'm not sure if he's the right target to be going for. They will dive across, and he's actually cross-targeting. Probably not the ideal point. And you can see actually they're all going to back away from this. Nobody's going down. I don't believe that Soaz is going to get charmed in. Soaz surely going to go down. Will be first blood. Finally, CLG pick up the first blood. Can they manage to stop Against All Authorities taking away the blue buff? Yes, they will. But N-rated is also in all sorts of trouble. N-rated will go down as well. That will be a kill for Against All Authorities. But, well, Linak did steal away that blue buff in amongst all that. But, wow, 2-1. And finally, at 18 minutes, we get a kill.
Action. Yes.
Down the bottom, I just missed it.
Wow, yes, you just saw a dead Corki there. And while all this was going on, of course, the support was missing from bot lane because N-Rated was there trying to take the blue buff, which I guess they did, but this really didn't make it worth it. And Moma is now coming bot lane. I'm not quite sure what he wants to do. Clearly that turret is down. Wit's End picked up by Shen. Ooh, yeah, the new passive resets more quickly with every time Shen attacks, so the attack speed on Shen is just such a massive damage boost to him right now.
So it was actually Jouster that marked up Linak there. It's just like, no, really, really Hotshot, back off.
Yeah.
It wasn't Hotshot. Hotshot was just like, well, I know he's there, just ran past me. So Jouster laying down the law and saying, no, you need to keep playing it safe. We're 2-1 up, 3-1 up, sorry. Obviously that kill down the bottom. So taking the tower eye as well, so which has really turned it in their favour a little bit here. It is still very even in goal, but obviously the CS really kind of going towards against their authority. Just going to have a look towards the top. We can see Yorick harassing on Hotshot GG there. Going to try and push around him. Hotshot's going to probably be able to get away from this one. I don't think it's slow from Yorick's Skier. He's not going to pursue it. Let the ghouls just do their job and back away. So still incredibly calm stuff from both teams. No crazy attacks. And Daniel, this is actually what I expected, I hate to say.
What is?
A slow game.
A slow game, well, yeah, but CLG, that's always the safe bet. Moma actually getting charmed in mid lane, chunked down to about half health. He missed one very crucial Dark Binding that didn't fight near the CLG's blue. That could have been a much better fight, but AAA, remember, they did the last dragon, so they should have the timer. They're setting up for it right now. Unless they messed up the timer, they should get an easy dragon, but I guess they did mess up the timer, Lee. I guess adding 6 to a number can be pretty hard.
It can be pretty hard when you're on a huge stage in the middle of Germany with a lot of pressure on you and a lot of faces staring at you.
There it is.
Ready for this one this time. But, well, CLG are going to be ready for this one. Chouster's actually could come round. Chouster's going to go looking with that Oracle. He might get caught out here. He's got to be very careful. He is going to go through. Actually, big for LB getting caught out with the Dark Bindings there. Moma is very low, though. They're maybe going to think they can lunge on this one. Meanwhile, I can see Vayne is also pushing. Sonya's Hourglass is popped. Don't think he's going to be able to get away with this one. Has popped his ulti. Tries to proc it off. Doesn't happen. Meanwhile, Vayne manages to catch down Shyvana down the bottom here. N-Rated in all sorts of trouble, and they will pick up a triple kill in amongst that. Wow, very nicely played. And it's going to be the Dragon as well. CLG in the driving seat all of a sudden, 6-1 up.
I'm not entirely sure why there weren't more members of AAA there at the Dragon. It was really just Shyvana and Alistair doing the Dragon, which is not the safest thing to be doing in the world, even at 21 minutes. And CLG did the exact right thing. They punished them for it. They are now 6-1 ahead, like you said. And this is looking really, really good for them. Which is kind of strange because, you know, CLG got beaten by Dignitas. And I don't know, I'm trying to construct a chain of losses here that's kind of self-contradictory, which I guess is what we have right now. I mean, these teams are, it's definitely not like, oh, one team's better than the other one, so they're going to win against them each and every time. Every game is very, very different. And Hotshot gets the stun in on Source there. He's going to try and harass him a little bit. Source may actually turn around and fight him. No, he's going to be safe.
Hotshot is getting into a dangerously strong position, actually. He's been very confident, running straight past, going straight for golems, farming out the golems as you would with, say, Shyvana on top there. Look, it's doing it again, completely ignoring that, going actually to pick up the wave. He's been picking up the farm as well, lower down, and now Shyvana's coming up and saying, look, really, we're going to have to deal with this guy. It's not working out too well. Morgana's moving up, but they are passing a ward as you go. What I'm going by is the mini-map at the moment down the bottom corner, and you can see Shyvana actually catching on towards Hotshot. One minute to lay down a bit of damage, but it's just not enough, and Soaz doesn't have the mana to deal in there. They do have Janna support. Morgana didn't go up because he's having to fight off in the mid, so CLG pushing well.
Look at him, he's like, oh, there's two people, I guess I'll chase them.
He's still quite happy farming there. Got absolutely no respect whatsoever for going Soul Authority here. So Hotshot GG in full farm mode. Well, they are going to go for it, but he realizes that Soaz hasn't got the mana, so he's just not worried about it until they actually push the problem, the middle, sorry. And now it's actually causing a problem for middle because you can see CLG are like, well, fine, you're distracting them there. We're going to try and push through the middle. And meanwhile, Shen is quite happy. He can just ulti in at any moment whatsoever, which is why Hotshot's feeling so confident.
Well, he doesn't have his ulti quite back yet. It's still a few seconds, but it's going to be enough time. N-Rated contemplated having to use his own ultimate just to get away from a lone hotshot there, from a lone Udyr. It's causing all kinds of trouble. Double lift coming in from behind right now. He's on yellow star. He's taking it down to half health already. There's the Yorick ulti on yellow star, so they can probably fight this right now. Hotshot is very, very low. Linak is on him in dragon form. He gets away because he is Hotshot and he will not be stopped. You said it exactly right. There was no respect.
He's coming back in.
I'm not scared of you. You can't even kill me. You can't touch me. And you know what? Part of that may be psychological play, actually. He may be doing this on purpose, just saying, you know what, guys, I'm going to mess with your nerves right now. I'm going to show myself to two people and not care. And they're still in their forest. Linak can't even take his own red. Moma has to come and protect him. Oh.
And in the meantime, while this is all happening, Shen's quite happily pushing down the bottom. He's just forcing the issue on the bottom tower. So the inner turret is already being threatened. But against all authorities, having a little bit of problem. There you go. Top turret finally goes down to the minions because Hotshot wasn't even taking them. He was just taking all the minions while he's up there. He's got the timer on the golem, so he's just going to invade that. CLG are looking very, very strong at the moment. 6-1 up. They just start to stretch that gold. You can see it's 6k gold difference as well. It's definitely working very well for CLG. And they are suddenly realizing they're waking up their potential for this group stage.
This is the CLG I wanted to see, Lee. There was talk about how hard they trained, how unlike any other event this is for them, how much they actually prepared for this. And this is exactly the confident team I wanted to see. I mean, Hotshot it's just a joy to watch there in top lane, how he just really doesn't care. And you know what? They're doing Baron at the same time. They almost snuck it past us as well. Big Fat took the red buff from the enemy as well. So that's a free Baron. That puts them about 8k gold ahead. Yeah, that is definitely worth an applause here. aAa are being bullied. There is no other word for it. They're not even picking fights with them. They're just like, you know what, come here, come here. You want to fight? You want to fight Turek?
You want to fight me?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to.
But you mentioned it right at the start. You know, the passive sort of play is just playing straight into CLG's favour. You know, they're so happy to do that, which is what Dignitas sort of gone in their faces early on this morning, and it kind of worked in their favour. But against all authorities, really are going to be pushed against it now. They've realised that. I assume they realise they've lost Baron now. They didn't see any pings or anything going down. They're going to suddenly...
Oblivious.
Yeah, could be oblivious to it, but I think they've just realised they're all porting back. They're like, okay, we need to brace ourselves here because CLG are going to be pushing straight at the middle. Now they see them. They can see them charging through. Let's have a look at their items, what they've been buying. We've got a double Randian Omen here. Odyr and Shen, so very, very tanky. Willie the Ancients as well on Ari. We saw how strong Willie the Ancients can be earlier on with Cassiopeia. And we've got Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster, and a Quicksilver Sash on Vayne. So Vayne looking very strong as well. And, you know, we talked about the Vayne Janna lane. It's great at this level. The early stages, if you harass it enough, it can be a problem. But they just didn't get harassed.
Not sufficiently. Definitely not sufficiently. And the two rundows are really like, there's two rundows and actually two wits ends as well. So they have these two super tanky men that'll just run and do tons of damage and be very, very sticky and just slow you down. And they're just going for this turret. And they're not very bothered by the turret attacking them. Hotshot just tanking it easily enough. This is really, really great coordination from the team as well. They broke off all together. No one lingered and thought maybe we should push a little more. They knew exactly when to go out, and they knew exactly when to push in as well. And guess what Hotshot is doing? He is in the jungle hunting down Linak by himself.
Yeah, and he may well get this kill here, and I think he will. I think Linak's going to have to use the ulti to try and get out of this one. Has got Soaz to come in support. Will he try and use the ulti? He's had to ulti up, but he's been taken down already. Tried to delay it for much longer than he should have. And has been taken down, and that's open CLG. Wow, look at Soaz getting chipped. Look at the damage from Vayne. Just harpooning straight in his backside there. And it's just burning down his health. Ari, meanwhile, you can see Big Fat LP down the side, but it doesn't matter. They're going to take the base turret without any fight whatsoever from against an authority. They have no response to this whatsoever, and that inhibitor is going to go down very quickly. CLG are dominating.
It is incredible. Hotshot GG during the whole attack on the inhibitor tower was standing on the far side of the inhibitor, scaring the entire enemy team off by himself. Well, that's a scary man-bear pig right there.
Man-bear pig can be very scary when he gets this fed. And you can see they're just chunking down the towers without any issues, without any fear. They're just going to run through against an authority. They're going to have to throw this in a very dramatic style. I think computers will have to fly off the stage for this to actually go in favour of Against All Authority. Wow, Mama just getting eaten alive there with the Dark Bindings on. They're going to go straight in towards this one. CLG N-Rate is going to get popped with the ulti as well. Vayne is just doing so much damage right now. That hyper carry is proving to be completely destroying Yellowstar. Well, this is actually the Yellowstar ulti. Yeah. Yellowstar dying twice. SOAS finally will be picked off. Having to flash away. Why on earth would you use a flash in that situation? Maybe it's just trying to survive. They will take the turret. Hotshot GG is just going to pile in there. Double Lift going to rip it down. Yeah. And that turret is going to go with the inhibitor. 11-2, 12k gold advantage. Down on this is one-sided.
CLG had this 20-minute phase where they were like, you know what, guys, hold on, just give us 20-minute truce, right? Like in Age of Empires 3, where you can just have a 20-minute treaty, you can't attack the enemy before that. They played like that, and then they were like, okay, right, we got everything we need. Switch flipped, let's go and kill these people.
Let's win. Yeah, yes. So it seems to have worked out that well. I think it was about the 18-minute stage, that final fight happened over at Blue, and it just, I think Against All Authority kind of went into it a little bit naively. I guess they were like, okay, we're going to go aggressive now. Yeah. And they didn't realize how much CLG had farmed it up and were ready for it. They knew it was coming. But they are going to have to pull off something spectacular. Let's have a look at the builds. You can see Yorick has got that frozen heart now built up with that many moon, but really, frankly, we've got Shirelia's Reverie now complete on OD. OD has just got, well, let's just have a look how many hit points armor he's got. If I can finally get onto him, you can see, yeah, just shy over 3k hit points, and 210 armor as well. So he is pretty much an unstoppable man-bear pig, just running through with a Shen ulti to stack you off. Oh, and he's found Linak. Linak, you've just getting completely caught out. He's just going to tower dive, I think. No, he's chosen not to. He's chosen to stick away.
The performance, so probably not too.
And he hasn't got a team anywhere near him.
He doesn't need a team. He has a man, a bear, and a pig. And so is trying to slow him down a little bit. He's like, yeah, you can slow me down. It's fine. I'm coming for you anyway. Binding doesn't quite hit. It still seems to be just, Hotshot. I don't know what Big Fat GG is doing.
4v1.
Yeah, 4v1. It's fine. It's okay, guys. I got this.
Big Fat LP is just picking up the blue. You can see Shen continuing to push on the bottom lane. So we're going to have a bottom lane push going, piling straight in with Super Minions. Super Minions coming up the mid lane as well. I can see Vayne coming up there. There's Shen. He's just piling in. There's a great big wave of Super Minions that Yellowstar's going to try his best to take down. Linak is trying to deal with the middle lane. Meanwhile, the whole team is now stacking up on this top lane. They're just going to pile through this turret any second now as the team gather up ready to go. Shen is picking up the blue buff as well, as you would.
Of course, as a Shen, you really need that energy region. Yep. SOAS gets charmed. That could be a very, very dead SOAS. He actually... Vayne, I think, saved him there, but he did use his ultimate, so that's going to be down for the time being, and that's definitely another tower down. And Hotshot's like, I don't know, I don't care about the tower. I just want to run into the enemy team by myself. That's what I do now. It's my thing now.
I got a feeling he's playing with a smile on his face right now. He's definitely, Yellowstar just went down in seconds. N-Rated with the ulti went down in seconds as well. Momo's getting a couple of shots in the back, uses the Zhonya's hourglass. That's not going to save you. Nope. Like that will help at all. Shen goes diving in on towards Linak. This is definitely going to be the end of the game for Against All Authority. So now this will open the group wide open. We are going to have a 3-1-0 situation across 3 teams already. I have no idea what game we're going to have to pick. We have to pick the game to follow this one. I don't know which one to go with, but all I do know is the Nexus is going to go down, and CLG are going to be taking a very easy victory after a passive farming session.
And look at him, look at GG right there. He is, I think, confident is too weak away.
Yeah, big grin.
There's the smile, He's like, you know what, I'm going to want me for you because I'm Udir. And there's the handshakes. Very polite there as well. They do look rather pleased with themselves. Double Lift showing that if he just plays a normal AD carry, he actually does that thing. He carries. And that Janna Vayne lane, it worked in the late game because they just got completely unstoppable.
They got left. They got left to farm, which is like, everybody knows the last thing you do is like leave a Tryndamere or a Vayne to just sit and farm, and that's exactly what they did. And he's just given the time of the world to just plow through. So Against All Authorities, you can see they're on your screen. Gonna have to discuss exactly the situation. They suddenly realise, they've put themselves in a bit of a perplexing moment. They've caused a problem for themselves. If they won that, it would have been first place guaranteed semi-final, job done, let's go have a day off and party or something. But as it is, now they're going, well, we really need to win our last game. As it is, their last game is against
I don't even know. Dignitas? Did they play against
Dignitas, I believe it is Dignitas.
Oh, that could be a very interesting game to watch. The last game for CLG is going to be against Fnatic. Can Fnatic still stay in this? I guess if there's a complicated
CLG, it would be
3-2,
3-2. So
I don't know.
There's a whole lot of opportunities out there, and the admins are going to be working overtime because they realise that it could actually go down to who beat who and how quick they did it. So exactly. There's so many problems. Dave's got it all written down. It's all good. Yep. The admins are on top of the situation. They are far better than we are. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what a game. So. If you were in, say, I guess Dignitas' shoes, they'll be looking at this and thinking, you know what, that's how you beat
That's how you beat aAa, yeah. You just take a super late game comp and you play it safe early game and take it to the late game. But like we said, that's CLG's strength. That's not necessarily Dignitas' strength. So I don't know if they can pull it off as well, because AAA are normally very good at invading your forest. I don't know why they chose not to do this against CLG of all people. I mean, they did
especially
take
with Shyvana as well.
Yeah, exactly. I did take a blue, but it was late. It was around the 16, 17 minute mark that they took a blue, and they lost a couple of people for it as well because they just, I don't know, they couldn't coordinate the team fight well enough. They did bring the Alistar up from bot lane, so they did have they must have a numerical advantage in that fight. But still, it wasn't enough. And
what did we think of the sneaky little changes they did at the start? The Shen Udyr switch. Brilliant. It seemed to work.
It couldn't have worked better for CLG. Hotshot has a couple of champions that he's very good at playing in top lane, and you know what? You just have to count Udyr amongst them now. He's so very good with that. The Shen in the jungle, I didn't see him have that strong of an impact, but he definitely played a very strong champ.
He was always there in the background, ready to go. But anyway, we're going to get over to the interviews. I guess Rivington will be over there because I can see Freak to the left of me. So Rivington, over to you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm joined here on stage by N-Rated and Hotshot GG. Both gentlemen, very good game to your teams. Hotshot, first and all for everybody, what runes do you... No, I'm just kidding. That Udyr game, why did you feel so confident?
Well, I know Yorick really has no kill potential with Shyvana if I live past like level 4. So I just ran between two turrets and troll all day.
Fair enough, fair enough. Coming into the game, it was very slow, about 18 minutes before the kills. You know, what decided that first engagement? Shyvana started heading into the jungle. What was the thought of that? Like, what were you guys looking for?
Well, we were looking for Corki to hold bot lane, 1 versus 2, so we actually were trying to force a team fight 4 versus 3, but we kind of missed the point. We missed the objective, and from that point on, it tried to it was snowballing into the mid game. The enemy setup was late game based, and we were afraid of engaging versus the Shen. So actually we played too passive, and that was our main mistakes. Like, we should have forced the team fight pretty early against that lineup.
Right on. And same question to you guys. What was the point of taking that passive so into mid game?
I think at the point where they tried to go for blue buff, and then they got, like, I think 3v4'd pretty much. And then bottom lane got the kill on the alone Corki, and it just snowballed from there.
Right on. What improvements do you guys feel that you can make or take from this match into your next games?
Well, actually, we got behind and didn't do anything out of it. We kind of tried to farm again, and CLG got the... they didn't play passive as before. They tried to force objectives like we did. So we kind of lost the point where we forced the objectives and went for the turning points. So next games we should try to force a bit more, I guess.
All right, and question for you guys, the insta switch at the end, was that planned? Were you trying to throw them off? What was the insta switch?
Well, we'll just say it was not planned. It was just like, ooh, a sporadic thing.
All right, fair enough. We're going to throw it to some commercial breaks. We'll be right back here with the IEM Championship, gentlemen. Stay tuned, everybody.
Intel Extreme Masters